Not. Welcome everybody. Happy day, happy day. Welcome to the Divorce to Destiny Academy Workbook book launch. I am super excited. If you're joining over here on Facebook, we're already kicking it off on Periscope over here because on the Periscope platform, we get to have a little jam and music as an intro, right? Hey, Elder JPO, thank you so much. So come on in over here on Facebook. We're going to be letting Instagram in just a moment. So make sure you're joining, inviting. Sometimes Facebook is a little delayed, so let's go ahead and kick Instagram in. If you guys would keep the hearts coming over on Facebook, over on Periscope, I'd appreciate that. Same thing over here as you're joining on Facebook Live. Make sure that you are joining. Hey, Mickey, great to see you. Great to have you guys on. Let me connect with Instagram and we'll be on our way. So we are going to be triple streaming today. This is the virtual book launch of the Divorce to Destiny Academy workbook. And I'm super excited that you have chosen to join with me in such a great time. And I'm super excited. Hey, Perfect Peace, great to have you. So listen, the first thing that I want to say to give everybody an equal opportunity across all platforms, we are live streaming from Periscope. We are live streaming on Facebook, on my personal Facebook page over here on Facebook. And we're also streaming on Instagram. So listen, we're going to give a giveaway on today. This is going to be a 3-part, if you will, virtual book launch, right? So I'm sharing the love with all of my friends. I'm going to be talking about the book in just a minute. I'm going to be sharing my story. So you definitely want to stay and stay tuned, right? But we're having a giveaway, right? So let me read the instructions that my assistant sent me so that I make sure I get this correct, okay? So I want to make sure everyone has an equal opportunity. What we're going to be giving away today are 2 book bundles, right? So we have the Divorce to Destiny Academy workbook, my very first book, Suddenly Single, and we also have the Liberation Journal for Divorcees. But before I get into that, in case people are scrolling by and don't know who I am, listen, if you are joining me for the very first time, I am Andrea M. Stuckey. I am the Divorce Liberator, your favorite divorce coach. I help separated and divorced women rebuild, redefine, and liberate their lives following separation and divorce. I am super excited. This is my 5th published work, and it has been an amazing journey. And so I thank you for just taking the time out to join me in such a such a happy event in such a very difficult time, if you will, across this world. So in order to be a recipient of this 3-part book bundle that will be mailed to you, okay? This is what you have to do. So if you are on Facebook, right, and listen, we're able to document all of this after the live stream, okay? So really quickly, if you're on Facebook, I need you to like and share the first broadcast. This is the first broadcast, so if you are live on the stream, you need to come in, like the broadcast, which is thumbs it up on your Facebook page, and you need to share it out, right? Like and share the broadcast. If you are on Periscope or if you are on Instagram, you need to tag 5 people. Over on Periscope, you need to share and invite your followers. So share the broadcast, invite your followers. This is all the first broadcast. Now, following this broadcast, before, I just want to give you kind of heads up what's going to be taking place. After I share my story and some information about this amazing workbook with you, I'm going to be going over to Meaningful Manuscripts, right? Meaningfulmanuscripts.com. It is a private Facebook community that is founded by no other than the amazing Audra Lerae Upchurch. She's the founder of Meaningful Manuscripts. She is the master anthologist, right? She is the master anthologist. I hope I'm saying that right, Audra. And but basically, she has several award-winning anthologies, and so I'm going to be interviewed by her over on her platform. So you don't want to miss that second part, because that's the second part of the giveaway. So once we're done here, you'll need to go over to meaningfulmanuscripts.com. Is that right, Jasmine? meaningfulmanuscripts.com. And come over there at about 12:30 or so. Yes, thank you, Dr. G, anthologist. 12:30, we're going to be she's going to interview me over there. So we're going to have a little fun over in that group as well. And then we're going to come back here again, triple stream around 1:10, and we're going to follow up and kind of wrap it up in about 10 or 15 minutes. So I hope that you're able to follow us, join in, share on this amazing journey and this amazing occasion, right? In such a challenging and tumultuous time. So anybody have any questions before I get started? Was I clear, Jasmine, about those giveaway instructions? Like and share, pretty much. Invite 5 people over on Instagram, right? So if you're watching live, I haven't forgot about you guys over on Instagram. Let me go ahead and type, 1 second, you guys. Got all these platforms going on, okay. Right, so in addition, you can purchase this book in ebook and paperback form. Paperback form from Amazon, ebook. There is a link directly above this broadcast. So here on Periscope, you have both links. Here on Facebook, you have the links. And over on Instagram, I just posted a link, and you can also go to the link in my bio. So let's get started, right? So if you are live here on Periscope, heart it up for me. If you're live here on Facebook Live, show me some love. And if you're live over here on Instagram, show me some love there as well. So make sure you're liking and sharing the broadcast. The Divorce to Destiny Academy workbook. So let me tell you about this program first, right? Hey, J-Man, great to see you. So I created this program over a couple years ago, right? And this is a 12-week group coaching program. It is designed for women who have been out of their marriage about 6 months or more, right? And so I created this program based on what I've seen in my practice over the past 5 years. And then in addition, what I experienced in my own life. So if you guys are joining me for the very first time, not only am I a divorce coach, a certified life coach who works primarily with separated and divorced women, but I have also been divorced twice. And one of the things that I have seen, not only in my own experience before I was a life coach, but what I see with many women coming out of long-term relationships and divorces, right, and very abusive relationships, is sort of a rush type of healing, right? And many women go through the same, or need to go through, whether we knew it or not, right? Right? Because I didn't know a lot of this initially, right? But there are some areas, some key areas that we need in order to sort of redefine who we are, rebuild our lives, and have an opportunity to have happy, healthy relationships. And so let me just take you back a little bit of my story, right? And so I got married for the first time at the age of 22. I was in the military. I was young. I, met this young gentleman in the military, and we quickly got married, right? So let's fast forward a little bit to the relationship. About 3 years or so, we had a beautiful daughter, right? We had a beautiful daughter, and at the point where my daughter was about 2 weeks old, I found out that my husband had been unfaithful and that he had another child on the way. Okay, so for a lot of women who've experienced infidelity or similar situations, I can definitely relate. Because not only at that season, I had given up my full-time job, I had moved to a new military location, and I had a brand new baby. I had just lost my father, and here I am stuck in this marriage. What am I to do? Right? And so I found, and I'm kind of, speeding up the story a little bit. That's a whole nother story. C. Smearman, he's saying, why would he do that? Listen, we don't have the answers to those things. Right? But I do have a point that I want to make on today. So if you guys can heart up, thank you so much. I see the hearts on Facebook. I need to see some hearts over here on Periscope, and you guys can do the same on Instagram. So I found myself in a very trying situation. And so what I had to do was make a decision. With a 2-week-old, my dad had just passed away probably within the past 4 weeks, if that. What was I going to do? I was in a new situation. I was in a new location. I was a military wife. I had just gotten, maybe a couple years before that, gotten out of the military. And so I found myself in such a terrible situation. But I chose to forgive, if you will. right? And so, whenever you're trying to sort of reestablish a marriage, it can be very, very challenging. Fast forward another year, we get out the military. We move back to Virginia. That's where I'm living right now. And I want to share, this is back in 1995, okay? And at the end of the day, we were there maybe not even a month. And my first husband walked out. At that time, my oldest daughter was 16 months old. And I'm going somewhere with this story, so stay with me. She was 16 months old, but here's the deal. He walked out. And this is 2020. I have never seen or heard that man's voice ever again. So that journey and that road of recovery was a long one. That journey and road and recovery from infidelity was a long one. That journey, road, and path of recovery from rejection was a long one. And so what I have found and seen, and I'm getting to my point when I created this book, fast forward years later, right? That was back in 1995. Here we are 20 some odd years later. Probably around 3 years after that breakup, I found myself in another marriage, right? But my point is this. Many, many hurt men and women rush the process. They really don't heal authentically. And because of that, for me personally, I took a lot of that baggage into my next relationship, into my next marriage. And many men and women are doing the same, right? Now, this book is geared towards women because it's the same. There are some, I'm sorry guys, a call was coming through. But there are some general areas that when we come out of tumultuous relationships, I'm sorry, I have calls coming through. Right. And so there are some general areas that we need to go through. And I found this in my own life. Right. And I found this in my coaching practice. And so hence, Divorce to Destiny Academy was created. And this is just the companion workbook that goes along with the 12-week program. However, this workbook can be used independently, and it can also be used in group settings, divorce support groups, or used for other divorce coaches, if you will. Now, one of the things that's very interesting here is that what I found, and I have to own in my own situation and circumstances, is that I brought a lot of baggage into my second marriage. Now, we created some baggage of our own. Let me tell you that, right? But it's, hey, Audra, great to see you. But it's so important that we don't rush the healing journey in the healing process, right? And so let me just share some pieces of this workbook with you. And so, yes, as I said earlier, from that first marriage of infidelity and rejection, I even experienced physical abuse in that relationship. It takes time to heal. It takes time to reestablish your self-esteem. Many women have gone through emotional abuse. Many women have gone through verbal abuse and physical abuse as well. And it's not, we can't just, look good and pretend that it's all well and fine. We've got to do the internal work. And this Divorce to Destiny Academy workbook is foundational for that work. Right? It is foundational. And so listen, if you're watching, if you're interested in the book right now, I have it in 2 formats. You can go over to Amazon and buy it in the hardback copy, if you will, workbook, bit.ly/divorce, the number 2, Divorce to Destiny workbook. It'll take you right there. And if you want to download the ebook right now, you can go to bit.ly/divorce, the number 2, Destiny workbook ebook. Those are quick, easy links for you. If somebody is over here live on Periscope, I see that you are. If somebody could type that in the chat section, that would be great. I think Yvette says, I so understand, and you are right. After being divorced twice myself, I have learned baggage. Yes, I have learned. Absolutely. And it's so, so very important to heal. It's so very important to forgive. And so let me just share with you some of the pillars that are foundational to this workbook. And one of the things that's when you are a part of the 12-week group coaching program, right? This is an outline, if you will. We've got questions and things that you can work on your own. But what we do very differently in the academy is that I work with the clients one-on-one. So they have 3 one-on-one sessions with me over the course of 12 weeks. That's the first thing. So we're able to individually tailor what your focus area of healing, if you will, or challenge needs to be, right? And then secondly, we meet every week. It gives great accountability. It also allows the women to really connect with other women who are other women who have gone through similar situations and circumstances. And so I am just excited. The actual book has been a long way coming and getting it all together, but I am excited to be able to allow men, really men, even listen, if you're watching and you're a man, and you know there's some areas that you need to heal, this workbook can be for you too. Don't let the little feminine cover, deter you, okay, by any way, shape, or form. The content is the business, right? So let me just quickly, if somebody give me a time check, I cannot see. I have no idea. We're going to be going over to Meaningful Manuscripts shortly. How are you guys doing over here? Hey, Ty, great to see you. Only Aisha, great to have you guys over here on Instagram. Kate, yes73, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you guys so much for coming out. So here are some of the pillars that are, and I have some of my students I see live on Facebook and on Instagram here. Welcome, welcome, welcome again. So some of the things that we cover that are so foundational, important along the journey of divorce recovery are this: forgiveness. I want to stop right here. There is a whole lot of fake forgiveness floating around. And I say it especially as a believer in the Christian world, because as Christians, we know that we are sort of mandated by the word of God to forgive. And so oftentimes we know what to say, right? We know how to appear just happy and fine. But when we move below the surface and I really start to talk with women and we kind of uncover some core beliefs and some core, I don't want to really say core beliefs for this particular topic, but some core feelings, if you will, unresolved issues is where I was going. It's still laying dormant. And until you release anger, until you release bitterness, until you release resentment, and you let these things go, it is very difficult to move on with your life. Now, you can move on superficially, right? And I see this all the time with my clients, right? And I've gone through it myself. So let me be very clear, right? We can look good, dress up. We can even be functioning as normal, but below the surface, there's a lot of residue of hurt. And so it's very difficult to move forward in all types of relationships when you have not healed and when you have not released and you have not forgiven. Now, forgiveness is not an overnight process. Thank you so much, Audra. It's not an overnight process, but it is a huge part of being free. It is a huge part of your healing. And I'm going to tell you, when you get this part right, when you are able to let go, when you are truly and authentically able to forgive, yes, you live a whole different type of life. You experience all different new types of relationships. Because when you can forgive, you also learn how to trust again, right? And these are some of the things that we go over. So let me just quickly share. So we talk about forgiveness, right? Not only we talk, we teach strategies, we do deep dives with this mindset. How are you viewing this next season of your life, right? As a divorced single woman, what's your mindset about it? Right? Because for some of us, our whole lives, especially those who are a little bit older, we were taught you're kind of geared towards marriage, geared towards family. And so now there's been a shift and a breakup. How do we handle this? How do we define ourselves as an individual? When for so long we've defined ourselves sort of in the space of a spouse or our children. Many women do that as well. We define ourselves by our mates and our children. Third, self-awareness. You've got to know yourself. And what I've seen over these years is many women come out of relationships and they don't know who they really are. They don't know what they really want and desire, right? And so we work to help I want to say excavate. That's not the word I'm looking for, right? But to get in there in the inside, right? And rediscover, that's what I was looking for, rediscover those old talents, ambitions, and strengths that have been pushed down and, kind of left behind. Jasmine says, so true, actually redefining myself. Absolutely. Letting go of limiting beliefs is key. Absolutely. Absolutely. We talk about rebuilding self-confidence, right? And we've got some great, I see Ty is over here, some great exercises that we do to help build self-confidence, right? You've got to be able to believe in yourself, right? You have to be able to believe in your abilities. And sometimes we've lost that in relationships. We learn about boundaries, right? Boundaries are more than just saying no. There are different types of boundaries, right? And so we have to learn how to establish boundaries, and boundaries will keep you out of abusive relationships of all types, abusive jobs, abusive friends, abusive children, believe it or not. And so we talk and deep dive in boundaries. We talk about co-parenting, overcoming insecurities. A lot of times there are insecurities that we've had from childhood, right? How is that affecting or affected our past relationships? We talk about the infamous dating after divorce. Listen, dating in 2020 is very, very different than it was back in 1985, back in 1990. And you better believe is that if you haven't healed, you're going to have a very tough time. Because as I say to my clients, and those of you who've been in any of my programs, I've done a mature dating program, is that the dating world is full of judgment and rejection. Judgment and rejection. And so if you have not healed from judgment, any type of judgment, whether it was in a relationship or parents, or you've experienced rejection, I definitely have experienced that, then when you come into this space today of dating, it can be very difficult for you. That's why authentic healing is so important. And we're going to wrap it up. Money matters, finances for the single parent, the single woman. We talk about self-care, how vitally important that is. And then what we do is we take all that information, we wrap it up into a session called Talents to Treasures, right? Hence your destiny, right? So you've learned where your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, but we focus on strengths. We focus on helping you position yourself in your strongest strengths. And how can you transition your strengths and your gifts into profitability or a purpose-driven pursuit, whichever you prefer. Right? And that's how we wrap up that 12 weeks. So yes, 12 weeks is a long time. It is a very intense program. It's a very successful program. And I'm super, super excited about the next session. So if you're interested, we have a wait list open right now. You can go to bit.ly/divorce2destiny. That's it. So if you go to Divorce to Destiny, and if somebody can type that in the comment section on all platforms. Ty said this program is amazing. It changed my life. Thank you so much, Ty. And you can get on the wait list there, and we will notify you of the next session, right? And we'll notify you of all the information. But bit.ly/divorce2destiny will take you to the wait list sign up. So listen, can I have a time check, someone? I cannot see any time. I want to make sure. Hey, Angela, great to see you. 4 minutes. All right, August, I got 4 minutes to get over to listen. So if you guys want to follow the next segment of this virtual book launch, right? Has this been good? Thumbs up, hearts up. Come over to meaningfulmanuscripts.com right now. Am I saying that correctly, you guys? meaningfulmanuscripts.com. It is the community of the amazing Audra LeRae Upchurch, master anthologist, book extraordinaire. She's a woman of excellence. She's also my friend and mentor. And she has helped me so much in this author space. And so we're going to be going over there. So listen, come on over and join us for the next 30 minutes or so. And then we're going to come back just like we are now across all three platforms. So remember, when you go over to Meaningful Manuscripts, you want to make sure that you comment. Let us know that you're there. Right? You've got to comment. This is part of the giveaway, part 2. Yep. www.meaningful meaningfulmanuscripts.com. www.meaningfulmanuscripts.com. They're waiting to let you in. You have to join, but when you go there, it's going to be ready for you. They're going to let you right in so that you can partake in this next segment of the virtual book launch. So I look forward to seeing you guys over there. And then we'll be back over on this side at about 1:10 Eastern Standard Time. 1:10 Eastern Standard Time. We're going to wrap up, do the last part of the giveaway, and have a little more fun. And I'll also open it up to Q&A. So if you guys have questions about my story, if you have questions about divorce and the journey, make sure you're back over here about 1:10. So we're going to cut it. We're going to head over to meaningfulmanuscripts.com. Thank you guys so much for joining. Make sure you purchase your book. The links are all around. bit.ly/divorce2, the number 2, Destiny workbook for the hard copy, and Divorce to Destiny workbook ebook for the digital download. Okay, so you guys have a wonderful and blessed day. But listen, I'm looking forward to seeing you over in meaningfulmanuscripts.com, tongue twister, and then back over here on all platforms. So thank you guys so much. I'll see you shortly. Okay.